You often speak about right speech, as explained in the Bhagavad Gita, as being truthful, kind, and beneficial. How can we cultivate right nature and right perspective so that right speech and nonviolence become second nature? Ah, great. So it's a beautiful question, because one of the things that we talk about so frequently here and in so many spiritual places is basically, thou shalt blank, thou shalt not blank. So we know we're not supposed to kill, we're not supposed to harm, we're not supposed to lie, we're not supposed to cheat. One of the things that comes in that category is, what's the right speech? Well, Lord Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita tells us it's that speech which is truthful, kind, and beneficial. So the questioner says, how can we cultivate the right nature and the right perspective so that right speech becomes automatic? Meaning, how do I not have to tape the 10 commandments or the yamas and niyamas or whatever are my rules of life on my fridge? How can I live in such a way that it's automatic? When you love your family, you don't have to put a sticky note on your fridge that says, remember to feed the kids. Right? I mean, is there any mother who needs to write herself a note that says dinner? Right? Because otherwise she might forget. Of course not. Right? It's how she lives. Or in some cases the father. More frequently the mother, but in some cases absolutely the father. They know. Yeah, kids, family, food. They don't forget. They don't find themselves drifting off to sleep going, oh my God, I forgot to feed the kids. Because it's who they are. How can we make right speech so second nature that it happens from us? And that comes really from identifying as the person who speaks with kindness, with truth. If the mother didn't identify as a mother, or the father didn't identify as a father, they might very well forget to put food on the table. When something is just your job, we forget to do it sometimes. Whatever you may be hired to do, whatever your job may be, whether it's a volunteer job, whether you're being paid a little bit or a lot to do it, I guarantee you there are times you have forgotten to do something that you were told to do or you were supposed to do. I guarantee there were days that just slipped through the cracks, that you just didn't perform the way that, you were expected to perform. That's human nature, because it's a job. But I think there are very, very, very few people who would say, yeah, I forgot to feed my kids. Yeah, I forgot to, put them to bed. I went to bed, forgot they were, my 6-year-old was still watching TV. We remember because we're engaged as the identity of mother, of father. Because that is who we are. And so in the same way, when we're thinking about our identity, in addition to the fullness, in addition to the ultimate truth of soul, spirit, consciousness, but if I'm looking simply at my identity as one who speaks, my identity as one who performs actions, Well, if I identify as a spiritual person, as a dharmic person, a love-filled person, a peaceful person, whatever word I want to use, it doesn't matter. Well, those things, whether it's wrong speech or wrong action, are going to be things that, if they happen from me, automatically something inside rings an alert, because it's not who I am. It's a sense of, wait, something is off. It would be like sticking a cigarette in the mouth of somebody who didn't smoke, right? They'd start to cough. Wait, I don't smoke. I'm not a smoker. In the same way, when we start to live as people committed to a path of spirituality, of love, of dharma, of oneness, then our speech is going to reflect that. Our actions are going to reflect that. And when they don't, when we have a slip, it's going to hit us automatically. And the internal sense of something being off is going to be its own punishment. That sense of something being off within you is in and of itself a punishment. That's the stuff that keeps us awake at night. It's the stuff that prevents us from eating our meals. It's the stuff that makes us feel, not right. And then slowly we stop doing it because it doesn't feel right. So there's a term in psychology called cognitive dissonance, which explains why, for example, people who don't quit smoking would tell you, well, it's not so dangerous, it's all just this propaganda by the health administration, and they're out to get the tobacco companies, and it's a big conspiracy against the tobacco farmers. And well, why do they say such nonsense? Because of something called cognitive dissonance, which means in order for me to feel okay about myself, what I think and what I do have to be in alignment. I cannot live for very long with my thoughts being out of alignment with my actions. And so maybe I began by trying to quit smoking because I knew smoking is bad for you. And I tried to quit, and I couldn't quit. It wasn't nearly as easy as I had thought, and I wasn't prepared to put in the extra effort to really quit. So I was then living with this dissonance inside me. Brain said smoking is bad, but body kept smoking. Dissonance. So since I couldn't change my actions, or I was not willing to change my actions, my only option was to change my thoughts, which is why now I'm convinced it's just a conspiracy to put the tobacco farmers out of work and, to ruin the tobacco companies. Because, my grandmother smoked till she was 106 and, 3 packs a day, and, she was fine. So this is where you get all of those kinds of stories. People are able to rationalize anything because it is crucial to us that in our own minds, at least, what we think and what we do line up. Even you go to the extreme of mass murderers. You go to the extreme of people who commit heinous crimes. Forget just telling a lie or saying something that's not nice. The rest of the world may say, oh, they are evil, or oh, they are crazy. But if you actually sit down and talk to them, what you're going to find is they've got a very compelling reason, one that satisfies their mind for why they did what they did. Or they're going to say to you, I'm very sick. Something is wrong with me. Because that dissonance is present and they know they cannot change it and they understand there is a problem in my brain. But otherwise, they're going to give you a very good reason. lines up for them. And so, in the same way, if I change my thoughts to be those of, I am a spiritual being. I am love. I am consciousness. I am peace. I spread peace. I spread love. That's what I do. I may do something else on the side, but that's my big commitment. Well, then anything I do that doesn't feel loving and peaceful is going to rub me so badly on the inside that chances are it's going to be worse for me than for whomever it was that I said something not so nice to. And either I then have to change my entire way of thinking about myself, or I have to stop talking like that. Because eventually you get tired of not being able to sleep at night. Eventually you get tired of not feeling good inside you. And so if we hold on deeply and sincerely to the knowledge, I am a spiritual being, I am a dharmic being, I am love, I am peace, I am consciousness. That is what I am here for. I am light. I spread light, I spread love, I spread peace. Then your words and your actions are going to have to start to be that. Or inside you won't be comfortable anymore. So don't worry yet about changing them. Just worry about holding tightly and tenaciously to the knowledge of who you are. And the rest will line up automatically.